Happy Wednesday, Isla here. Welcome to Let's Talk Love with Isla Lynn, which is a weekly show where I come on and answer one of your most burning questions. If you're here with me, let me know. Do a hashtag live or your name. And if you're catching a replay, do a hashtag replay. If you're brand new to me in my community, I am a tenured corporate professional turned transformational life coach for women over 30 who are looking to get back out and win at love and life. Whether this is your second time around, your first time, or your second, or your third, or your fourth, the point is that you can turn things around in your love life if you turn around the perception that you have of the relationships and the things that have happened in the past for you. So one of the things that I like to talk about is things that we may have heard in the past that have kind of rubbed us the wrong way or have set a precedent for a belief about certain things, whether it is about certain people or about us, and stuff that's keeping us stuck. So allow me to share with you the things that have worked for me, as well as what I have gone through so that you can understand my experience and how it translates to the things that I do right now, the thinking process that I have right now, so that you have a different perception and maybe food for thought so that you can think about your relationships moving onward. Today in particular, I want to talk to you about the topic when someone that you are either dating or you've been in a relationship with comes to you and says, "I'm sorry, I just can't give you what you need." This has happened to me on several occasions, and I may have responded being caught by surprise in a very negative way. And the reason why is because I didn't have the knowledge that I have right now. I was not the person that I am right now. And so I felt extremely hurt hearing that, especially with someone that I've been with for 9 months. And reflecting back, I can say that I get it. I get it because I personally did not know what those needs were for me. But it hurt me because I felt unseen, unheard, unloved. And so I associated him saying that with a flaw within me. And so when he left, I was left reflecting on some of those things. And back then I didn't see it, but now I do. And so I wanted to share this with you. If you're in that position right now, let's say you've been with someone and they said that they just cannot meet your needs. So there are two case scenarios that I see happening here. And that is the reason why they can't meet your needs is because your needs are all over the place. And perhaps that's something where you need to turn the lens on yourself and kind of reflect within to see what are some of the things that are really important to me, that are important in a relationship for me, that are important for me to get from a partner, so that I can be in this partnership of where I feel I'm in harmony, I'm in sync, I'm able to be myself. Because reflecting back, I was not me in these relationships. I was everything that they wanted me to be and more. And every time I did that, I neglected bits of who I was authentically. Because when you spend your life shifting and wearing masks and appeasing to everybody and their mother, then you don't really know who you are. So when you hear this, I want you to just stop for a minute, just take a deep breath and just reflect. Have you voiced your needs? Do you know what your needs in a relationship are? Because if you're not clear, you need to step away from a relationship and then you need to assess it. What is important for me to have in a relationship? And make a list. Lists are great. I love lists because you can always look back on, you can add things to the list, you can cross things off the list. But the point is that you have a visual to remind you that, look, these are my needs, and this is what are my non-negotiables. I didn't have non-negotiables. For me, it was as long as you're present and as long as you sit down and hear and try to connect with me emotionally, that was something that I was okay with, right? Even if it's just a moment of your time, because I was in this scarcity mindset of constantly going and asking. That was in the beginning. Then I became an avoidant, which I was completely dismissing everything. Like every time my partner came to me and wanted to say something, I felt triggered, I felt upset, and I would run away. Because that's how I dealt with these emotions. And so I was all over the place. So he really didn't understand what it is that I needed. And so think about that. Think about that for yourself. Think about how you are showing up. And second could be that they just simply are telling you the truth. That they just cannot meet your needs, or they're not willing to meet your needs. And that is also okay. Maybe not in that moment, maybe not in that heat of emotion that runs through you when you have this conversation. But if you look at it from another lens, you can see that this person is telling you that they just cannot give you what it is that you need. And it would be beneficial for you not to push them. Because if they don't have the capacity to do that, to be the partner that you need, then isn't it better to just let them go? Isn't it just better to let them move on and find their happiness while you go on and you find yours? Because when you try to argue, when you try to make someone do something, things get escalated. There's conflict, and it cannot be repaired because you're pushing your agenda, you're pushing your perception, your idea of what they should be on them. And the point is that we cannot change anybody. You cannot change anybody. You can wish for them to change, but the real change happens from them. They need to make that decision. So when someone comes and says, I'm sorry, I just can't meet the needs that you have or be the partner that you need, then just take it at the face value. They're telling you the truth. Men are pretty honest. They're pretty blunt and pretty direct. There's nothing for you to read between the lines. If they say they can't give it to you, they truly can't. They're not capable or they're not willing. And so that should give you a little bit of reassurance to know that, okay, cool, but the thing is, you need to be secure in yourself to be okay with it. I wasn't in the beginning, and I used to always chase and want to understand and want to get closure and all of that. Now, if I was in that position now, I would be completely different individual. I would completely take different action. And the action that I would be taking is the fact, to say, hey, thank you so much for sharing this with me. I appreciate you for coming out and being honest and saying that, this what we're trying to make do is just not going to work because we want different things. It is what adults do. It is the conversations that we have to have that are uncomfortable instead of just avoiding it. Would you not rather have someone come to you and say, hey, I just can't give you what it is that you need, versus, starting to dismiss you or starting to be busy or just completely ghost you, disappear, vanish from the face of the earth, never to be heard from again? Whatever you are dealing with, the point is that you are going to be able to handle it if you do have the self-trust and the self-acceptance that is required for you to be able to move on your own. When someone doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, pushing it is not going to help it. It's going to add a lot more grief for both of you. it's going to add a lot more stress and a lot more complication that you really don't need. So do yourself a favor and decide for yourself, what is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for in a partner? And find someone who can actually meet at least 80% of those needs, because nobody is going to 100% fulfill it. It happens over time. I have been with my husband now going on 18 years, and I'm still learning things about him that in the beginning I didn't know, because we have changed as individuals. We have grown as people. And so when you take time, get to know each other, when you ask questions, when you really get invested in each other, then you can assess for yourself whether or not you're able to be that partner for your partner. And if you're not, what's the point of staying and trying instead of actually going out and finding someone who is a better match? What I see a lot is the scarcity of, like, there's not enough people out there yet. Over and over, I hear singles saying, I can't find anybody. I've been single for 4 years, for 5 years, for 10 years. The point is that you got to turn the lens on yourself. You got to turn things around. You got to figure out who you are so that you know what it is that you need, so that you can clearly convey that to whoever the next person is that you meet, so that you can vet them and they can vet you, and you can determine, okay, so is this person someone that I want to take to the next step, or that I want to take the next step with? Or is this someone that, nice knowing you, have a great time, good luck, best wishes kind of thing? As adults, we need to take responsibility. And so I wanted to share this with you so you can really mull it over. And as you reflect back, were you clear in your intention? Were you clear in your needs? What is it that you need? Have you set the non-negotiables? Have you discussed what happens if these things are not being met? All of these are essential steps you need to take in your next relationship to really set the stage for success. And you're going to make mistakes along the way. We all do. But the point is that you learn through them. The point is that you take action to change things around that have not worked. And to learn along the way, to learn about your partner, to learn about yourself. But above else, you got to figure out what is important to you. Because if you don't know what that is, you cannot share that message. So I'm going to leave you with this. As always, I'd love to know if you have any thoughts. Drop them in the comments or send me a message. And as always, I will see you at the next opportune time. Bye-bye.